I've been going further than the roof, obviously. I've been going around the outside of the rear window, cleaning all that off, because of course that also disappears underneath the paint, or underneath the window rubber, and the paint that's on it would then disappear under the rubber. So I've been doing that and rubbed it down a bit as well. But I've also done the front of the car, pretty much the same thing, but I've gone down the scuttle as well. And the reason why I thought necessary to do that is, if you remember way back when, the faux pas, when I ripped the scuttle with the engine, that's when I had the original big S-type sump fitted, couldn't get it out. A lot of filler work and primer was put onto the scuttle in any case, so I thought, well, I might as well include that as part of the windscreen frame, because it is. But just thought it might be educational to show the amount of stuff. That is, well, for scale, that's my hand, okay? That's a full dustpan brush type of amount. I wouldn't like to weigh it, but it does appear to me that, I mean, if you look at the edge, the margin, if you like, this grey layer, I don't know what it exactly is, but it seems to be remarkably thick. But not only that, I don't know if you can see this, the speckling that I've mentioned seems to come, or begin rather, at that layer. It doesn't go through to the fibreglass. It's between this grey layer, whatever it is, and the paint. So where it chips off, you don't see pinkness, you see greyness. So I think it's quite interesting. So I don't know, as I keep saying, I don't know what this grey stuff actually is. It comes off quite nicely with paint stripper. Yeah, but whatever this paint issue is, appears to be something to do with that. So it's obviously all gone all over the roof. I've got the dashboard top out now, as you can see. It's gone as far as the roof, which I've obviously painted again. But it's present everywhere else. You can see some of it on the margin there. You can see some of it on the margin here where the original boot hinges were attached, complete with little stress cracks going around. I mean, this could easily be stress in the fiberglass that's caused that. But I think it's pretty clear that whatever that grey stuff is, it certainly hasn't helped, and it may have made it worse. Now, just to illustrate that point, because I'm trying to smooth out the join between the naked glass fibre and the paint here, because I don't want to step, so I'm actually rubbing it, beveling the edge, if you like. I can feel that, actually. That's the thickness of this grey layer. But anyway, you can see the little blistering effect, or whatever exactly that is. You can see that happening as I rub through it with this 80 grit. It's pretty coarse stuff. It starts to appear, see, it's starting to appear there. And as you go through it, obviously it then disappears again. So I kind of repudiate the idea that this is porosity of the fiberglass, as it appears to be happening between the primer and the top coat, and not all the way through the primer into the base GRP. Yeah, you see that? Now the crazing, of course, which I complained about early on, is not apparent here at all. So what's all that about then, I hear you ask? So the crazing and the speckly, kind of bubbly structure are actually two different phenomena, and you can speculate. You can speculate all kinds of different possible reasons for that. But by the look of it, water coming through the fiberglass from underneath, isn't it? Definitely not. Why did the grey layer crack? Maybe water was getting into the primer from outside. Who knows? But what's definitely the case is this grey priming layer is coming off, and I'm actually seriously wondering when I'm going to finish up stripping the entire car. That'll be a job lot of nitromols for me then. I think so far I've used, the first one was 2 litres. I've got part of the way through a small one, that's half a litre I think. Probably about 3 litres so far, and I've done basically the roof and the window frame, or the scuttle and the rear window frame. So that sounds like I need 6 times more than that. That'll be a big lot of nitromols required to sort that out on the entire car. But I'm not actually doing that entire car yet, so let's not worry about that for the moment. And now I'm just finishing off this 80 grit rub down. We'll probably need some more. This is where I repaired the faux pas back in the day. It's obviously showing up again. Well, it was only ever primed, never top coated. And hopefully it's done a good job of removing residual stripper as well. The 80 grit does quite a good job, but I think I might need a bit more stripper. Actually, it's a bit thick here. I think even my 80 grit's getting a bit tired. It's getting nicely clogged here. You can, and here, you can clean it by rubbing it on itself. But it gradually loses effectiveness when you do that. Well, I'm nearly there. But one thing I have discovered actually is evidence of something else here. You see that slightly whiter, not grey, but white. Now that appears to be filler at the base of the windscreen. It's not quite so noticeable there actually as it is on the other side. On the other side we have got definite cracking in the red layer, the surface layer, and there was a lot of filler. And it's kind of, you can see it's kind of yellowy colour compared to the grey or the blue, and it is rubbing away quite nicely. And I've taken a lot of it off even before I brought you round here. I've also got more evidence of filler work and something. Is that a crack there as well? Yeah, you see it's coming away in speckles again. And you can see I think it's two layers of blue just there. So something happened here back in the day, and you can see it over there as well, the speckling. Anyway, that's probably enough of that for the time being. This is where the windscreen wipers used to be, by the way. Oh, there you are. That's where they used to be. There's a little bit. And over here. And as I mentioned, this is repair stuff from the faux pas. No doubt there could be a little bit more done. But anyway, now I've cleaned off all the way around the windscreen, so I shall put some primer on that, temporarily at least, and then I'll be in a position to conceivably put the windscreen in without laying up another problem for myself in the future. But this this cracking business here, to be honest, because of where it is, well, it could have been done while fitting the windscreen. That's one possibility. Or it could be stressing in the windscreen pillar itself, which brings me to another thought. And finally, on this mini project, here is the scuttle and the windscreen frame, and the same at the back. With all the flaky paint removed. There is naked fiberglass, the pink layer, just under here. I've feathered it out, and these are where the hinges used to be. I've feathered it out, not quite as far at the back as I have at the front. More at the front because there was more already, as it were, interfered with due to the repair of the faux pas, which I keep mentioning, not to mention the old windscreen wiper boss holes. So hence I went further at the front than I did at the back. But the principle is the same. All the flaky stuff is gone. I can now think about windscreen rubbers, tucking the headlining fabric, which is hanging in here, headlining fabric around the opening, which is what you need to do to fix it in place, and there won't be any problem with paint flaking, as it were, underneath the rubber, which is the whole point of this exercise. But for now, considering this is naked fiberglass under the primer, I won't touch it, but it's very, very smooth. Same at the front edge of the roof. Yes, there are some blemishes here and there where there's scratches and things, but that's easy to sort out. It's actually a very good shape, and that's to be celebrated. One of the advantages of a fiberglass car. So, Gilbert Invader Classic Roof Care, did I call it? Classic car roof care problems. So I now have a bit of a transformation. Now I would ask you not to look very closely at this. I will describe it as temporary paint. But it is a lot better, I think, than red fiberglass, isn't it? And it is vaguely the right colour. It's actually a Skoda colour, race blue. Which at a glance is not too bad a match. It doesn't actually match, but it's close enough considering the rest of the car looks like this, which, as you can see, is a bit rough. In fact, this is the best part. A bit dodgy though it is, patchy, bleary, certainly in need of some flatting. It's still a lot better than that.